My name is Jim McLaren. Today is Thursday, March 5th, 2020. Today we're going to talk about what they call wire mold. Goes on your wall is wiring with metal as raceway or the channels that go into this. And this is for places, even today I see a few places that work in the workshop, have in the workshop. It's for houses that don't have 2x4 walls. I have an older house, and the bedrooms upstairs have tongue and groove boards. No 2x4 walls, so you can't run wires through the 2x4. So no gyprock to go through, just wooden walls. So this is a type of electrical outlet you would use on these walls, and they're very unique. They're expensive. This comes with the receptacle, comes with screws, comes with the box, the outlet box, for about $15.99 Canadian. Now, it comes in two colors, white and I think it's beige. And here's all the different stuff you can get for it. So it has everything you would need to do wiring on the outside of a wall. And I see them and use. Some people even use them in the workshop now, rather than trying to run wires in their workshop. They'll run these wire mold. So they even have a starter box. Here, this is a starter box. You can go from existing wiring in your house or in your shop, and then just continue with this wire mold inside your house or inside your workshop. So look at this kit today, and kind of unique set of wiring. Different set of wiring here. So this comes with the plate, the outside plate, comes with the receptacle. Comes with instructions and screws. Now the screws, there's 4 different screws in here. 2 that hold the receptacle on, and 2 that holds this plate to the back of the box here. So here's those where you put your screws to hold this on. This goes on your wall. You bolt this to your wall. You have your grounding screw. You have your 2 raised pieces here that you connect your box to here. Now, comes with instructions, and it's a nice set of instructions. Shows you how to wire it, and it shows you the different features of the wire mold setup, and shows you how to wire, shows you how to take things apart, and how to put your outlet on your wire mold outlet. Now there's 4 screws comes with this. These are the screws. These are the 2 screws that will mount your outlet to the outside of the box. These are the 2 screws. Now comparing it to the regular screws, are slightly smaller, like not as long, so slightly smaller. And then these screws, which are a little bit different, have a taper to them. These screws hold this piece onto here. So they go onto here. And you put your screw in here. And you tighten it through here. That holds the outside metal box onto the. Now, these there's 3, 6, 8 different sides here, so you can bring in your channel here. This is a small channel. They come in 5-foot lengths, 10-foot lengths, and they have a unique system where you have that's the end of them. So they go in the side here. Normally you would go in the side here, and they fit in like that. Or you can go in the top if you want. You come from the top. Same thing. So you can come from the top or the sides, wherever you want. Now, when you're running these wires through here, use the raceway, the channels, so they fit on the outside of your wall. So normally what they do, they just run the wires, bare wires through them, so you don't need your sheathing. But if you need your sheathing, if you want to leave your sheathing on, you can leave your sheathing on inside the channel here. It's up to you. Some people have more than, I think they allow 9 wires to come through here. Now these channels are metal. They do slide apart here. This one doesn't slide. It does come out. Slide out like this. Now there's different ways you can hold these channels on. So this is a bracket that you put on your wall, and then you just simply put this against it, hit it with your fist, and hold it to the wall. So each of these Wiremold channels that hold your wires come in a 10-foot length and a 5-foot length. Each of those have this little clip that's included with the 5-foot and the 10-foot. If you have to join 2 pieces, so you had 12 feet, you'd have to cut 2 feet and 10 feet, and then use this to join the 2 wire channels together, and make sure you have a screw that's flush. You don't want it bulging out against this. You join the 2 wires together, and you screw that against your wall, and you just put your 2 channels together. Then you use this clip that provides it. They provide, and just clip it on between the 2 joints so you don't see it here. And there's your joint. Nicely done. Here's some tips on the Wiremold if you're using these Wiremold in an outside wall. Just as a temporary basis, just to show you today. Now these things go on your wall. You screw nail them to your wall, and these little lips here, that I'm going to use them today with the channels, and they've got some up here and some down here as well. These lips right here, just slightly bend them up just a wee bit so you can get them in. It'll be easier. It doesn't have to be much, just a little twist of the wrist there. Now that'll go slide in here easier, because they do slide in behind here. So you want to slide it in like that. Just like that. So that's how it slides in. So you'll have to allow yourself about 3/8 of an inch if you're cutting this length. So allow yourself 3/8 of an inch. So that's considered a connection here. And they told me at Wiremold, and I called them, that you should have a clamp like one of these every 30 inches. So 30 inches from the box, you should have one of these clamps. Now I'm just going to show you how to put one of these clamps on today, and then show you how that goes on. And we'll screw nail this down. We'll put the clamp here temporarily. Let's put it here. So we're going to have 2 wires coming in here. So we're running a receptacle. We're going to run wires in the receptacle, and wires going to another receptacle here. So we're going to have 2 sets of wires coming in here, and we're going to have a grounded using the greenie. Say some wiring. Put this little clamp on here. We'll secure this to the wall here. So you want a screw that's it's going to be recessed, like similar to this one. So like a 1-inch screw here. You don't want a screw like this. It's going to force against this channel, and inside here it'll force it against that channel. So you want a recessed screw inside here. So you want it recessed, so it fits flat inside here. You don't want to screw like this. that'll bubble up and force against that piece there. So I marked it with a pencil here, and I'll take the take it off and just put it in here. Now I'm just going to friction fit in here once you get it all set up. Make sure the screw goes all the way in. And you can just simply put it, use your fist, or you can use a rubber mallet. And again, this is 30 inches from the box because the box acts as a clamp. So they also have knockouts right here, one here and one here. So in my case, in my other house, I knocked this out and I drilled a hole right through the wall. And it's because it's just a tongue and groove boards. I drilled a hole through the wall and it wasn't that thick. And I started another one of these wire molds on the other side. So it comes in handy like that. You've got two to use here. So we go lined up with the channel here on the little clip there. So you can simply just bang it in with your fist, or just use a rubber mallet. Use a rubber mallet. That's in. So I just use the same 1-inch Robertson screws here to secure it. So this wire mold works good. I've done quite a bit of it now. So that's secure now. And again, this plate or this holder here, it doesn't have to be this close because this is considered a holder as well. So that should be 30 inches from your outlet. There's two clips available with your wire mold. This is a different one from you would normally use this one. So you put this one against your wall. Use a screw that is flush so that you're not bulging against here, your channel that holds your wires. And that's just a friction fit. So you put this on your wall, screw it in, and then you just take a rubber mallet or just hit your fist, and that would friction fit inside there. Now there's another one that comes with a little clip here. See that little notch there, that little groove? So that actually goes over the top of it and clicks in there. It makes it nice and easy. So you screw your screw nails in there to hold like that as well. So normally if you're going to run a couple outlets using this wire mold, so you're going to bring two whites in here, one white here, one white here, one black wire here, one black wire here, feed the next outlet. Now we're going to do things a little bit different. Now, from a friend of mine was saying they want you to mar the wires together in just one wire on each side. Mar the wires together, and using the big old ones here. Mar the wires together, you use a jumper wire. So you have two blacks coming in here and a jumper wiring going to the brass side, and same with the white ones, and run jumper wire to the silver side. That's what the new regulations, I guess, the electrical regulations are wanting now. So we're going to show you how to do this, doing these Mars here. So we got wires coming in. This is just a demonstration, so I leave the sheathing on this, and then I'm just going to cut the end so that it'll fit in the Vago connector here. Just cut the end here, and then mar the copper wires together using the greenie here. see some wiring here. So I'll just cut the ends off here, just about, just enough to go inside that Wago. So not a heck of a lot, just about 11 millimeters or 11, whatever it was. So yeah, cut the ends of these, just so they fit inside the Wago here. So we're going to put them inside here, and then use a jumper wire to go to the plug here. So I got one end cut that goes then to the Wago. We'll cut the other end, and then we're going to loop it. So I usually loop my wires. So I'm going to usually use this, the Milwaukee 601. This way I loop the wires. So I get a gauge for them, and then it's going to be a jumper wire. So use the second one there. So I got two jumper wires now. Two jumper wires from the Wago. They're going to connect on the outlet. And I was going to loop them now. I find these Milwaukee pliers, you close the handles and you loop it. Makes a nice loop. So these are the jumper wires. They're going to go onto the outlet, and this will go into the Wago. So I show you two different scenarios here. This is the sheathing still on it. You can do it that way, or a lot of people just take all the sheathing off and just use the bare wires here. So now we're going to connect the blacks and the jumper, the Wago connector here. These are the Wago ones here. This is the one that has 3 of them on it. Connect the blacks together. Use our jumper wire here. So we got all the blacks connected with the Wago connector. We'll connect the whites now. So we'll connect the whites now with the Wago connectors. Insert them here to snap them in place here, all the whites together. Make sure they're all the way in. Put your jumper wire in here. So all the blacks are connected, all the whites are connected. We'll use the ground after. I'll connect it to the receptacle now. So we'll connect the black to the brass screw here, the jumper wire, and you turn it the same way you turn the screw. So you loop it the same way when you turn the screw. So it tightens against that wire. And we're already here. Says I'm only using one of the screws. We'll tighten the other screw down so it doesn't interfere with anything. So the white will connect using that jumper wire, and same thing, you connect it the same way you would turn the screw. Tighten it up here a bit. The white wire is connected, and we're going to just tighten this other screw down so it doesn't interfere. So the blacks are connected, the whites are connected, and we're using Mars here, or these Wago connectors. You can use a Mar to connect them. We'll hook up our ground wire now. So the ground wire comes from this side. Let the ground wire a little longer than the white and the blacks there. And you want to connect it to the green screw on the metal plate here, on the wire mold here. Just loop it around here. Tighten that down. Now we're going to use this greenie. Talked about the greenie before. It's got a hole in the end of it. Saves you on some wiring here. The ground using this greenie goes through the wire. You leave one wire that's a little bit longer, so it goes through the greenie. Then you wire the two copper wires together, the two ground wires together. Ideally, they want to turn a couple turns. Now we're going to loop this. We loop this ground wire. Now I'm going to put it on the ground wire on the receptacle itself. And you want to turn it the same way. There. Tighten it down. Loop it the same way the ground screw turns. So I'll put it together now. These little clips, when you cut your channel here, your Wiremold channel, there's a sharp edge there. So to protect your wires, you slip this inside here, inside the channel here. That protects your wires. I only have one, so I'll just put it here, inside here, to protect the wires from cutting. There it goes. This is the cover plate that goes on the Wiremold system, and it's got two hole positions here. These two holes line up with these two holes here in the plate. They're raised bubbles here, and these are the screws that hold them in. They're tapered here at the end. They hold the actual box onto there. The other screws hold the receptacle on top of these box. Now, to get that in there, you're going to have to take the sides off here, both sides, and you just line it up, and you can see that the hole, there's two different sections that come out of here, but this one, there's one here, you can see it there. One here, and there's another one here. So both these have to come out to put this on top of the fit flush on top of the wire channels here. So these little clips have to be removed so that they'll fit over top of the channels here, because the channels are inside the bracket. So you have to remove them. You have to remove both, because the size we're using today, both pieces have to be removed. Now it will fit flush on top of here. It'll fit flush on top of here. One tab didn't come out, the top piece didn't come out, so I had to break it off. So now it'll fit flush over top of this. Receptacle's on the outside of this box, and it's kind of tricky to get it in. When you tighten the box to the actual plate on the Wiremold, it helps to have a magnetic screwdriver, because you're going to put it through the hole and then line it up with that bubble inside the plate there. And that's kind of tricky to do, because it just not give you a lot of wiggle room here. There it's in. I put the other one in. So there's 2 screws to hold this plate on. Last 2 things is to put your receptacle on. Just start it here. Put your plate on. Not tight enough. So your wire mold is complete now, and I showed you how to do it with running jumper wires instead of 1 wire to each side of the receptacle, running more than 1 outlet here. So this is a wire mold system. So in my next video, we're going to talk about the starter box. This is the box you use, and see the back of it's empty here. The plate is empty. And this is the box you would use when you're starting from an outlet in the wall, inside the wall already. So that'll be my next video, how this works on your existing wiring, how this adapts to it, and it works very neat. I'd like to thank all my subscribers, all my new subscribers. Thanks so much for subscribing to my channel. If you watched this for the first time today, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video today. Have a great day.